Good afternoon, ma'am. We are the group 8 and I'm first presenter of this group. Good multigrade programs and practices. Many examples of good multigrade programs and practices around the world, including the Asia. And many have features which can be adapted to multigrade contexts. Though these practices were mainly developed in response to country-specific address to multigrade teaching. Important lesson that can be analyzed and then adapted to your local context. Escuela Nueva. So the best known and most enduring examples is Escuela Nueva, which originally began in Colombia and has now adapted in many other countries in Latin America. When we say Escuela Nueva school, students learn independently at their own pace. So, independently gud ang mga student dito. And also, child-centered pedagogy by encouraging students to work together as a group. And while the teachers kay facilitate pod and guide the work from the children sa mga difference level. And also, na po yung mga student is bright kaayo sa ilaha, naga-help po sa mga student na bago lang ga-learn. That's why, dakan gud kaayo other countries nag-adapt po sa ilaha. And then, it has several essential features. First is, teachers are facilitator to guide and orient learning. Second, teaching strategies encourage active, creative, and participatory learning. And also, students learn at their own pace using self-instructional materials. So self-instructional materials are also example for the context, reading, lectures, multi-grade compounds, so on. There is no grade repetition, promotion to the next objective, or grade in individual, progressive, and flexible. And also, students have the freedom to study at the school, at the home, at their own pace. So, ang mga estudyante, nagay freedom na makastudy anywhere. And also, self-instructional materials are shared among 3 students and are able to last for several years. Active participation of students in the school is important also. Governance is encouraged students to promote civic. When we say civic is kanang combination of knowledge, skills, and values, and democratic behavior. The content of the materials reflect the regional curriculum and including regional and local adaptation. And lastly, teachers' training worksheets are highly contextual and replicable. That's all.
So, my name is Elmi Gordovi. So, for the continuation, so, the school in a box. So, the multi-grade, multi-level approach or the MGML. So, it is originated in India. So, this approach reflects a variety of models adapted by schools under different kinds of private management which are committed. So when we say committed, they are dedicated to a qualitative improvement in the multi-grade primary school. So the MGML addresses issues in curriculum, teacher training, and the development of teaching and learning materials, quality teaching in difficult situations, and contextualization to local conditions. So they are considering the situation so that will help in understanding the local.
Hey ma'am, my report is no more schools impact. In the Philippines, school with one teacher handling more than one grade have been common at least since 1920s. During the early 1970s, the Simeo Regional Center for Educational Innovation and Technology, or INOTEC, based in Quezon City, devised a radical approach to rural education. The purpose of INOTEC in education is to identify educational problems common to the region and to assess Xiaomai member countries in the solution of these problems by encouraging innovation, developing model solution, and exploring the utility of available educational technology. And Enotech is principally decided to identifying education problems and needs of Southeast Asians countries and developing innovative and technology-based solutions to address these problems. Over the time, the concept became better known as instructional management by parents, community, and teachers, also known as IMPACT. Instructional management by parents, community, and teachers. Learning system in the Philippines was developed in the 1970s with funding from international development research. This system heavily relies on self-learning modules based on the curriculum of the Department of Education, and also the goal of impact is to incorporate children who have dropped out school and seek to um, keep children in school are at risk of dropping out. This innovation began in the Philippines and Indonesia, spreading subsequently to Malaysia, Jamaica, Liberia, and Bangladesh. The original rationale was to improve rural education by devising a new delivery system with a more flexible schedule and lower student costs. Since the teacher made up to 80 to 90% of unit costs in conventional school, such as were reduced by increasing the student teacher ratio and supplementing teacher supervision with assistance from student, parents, and community resources. Many schools which were subsequently to participate in innovative system were multigrade schools with fewer teachers that grades. Next is multigrade program in the Philippines, or MPPE. MPPE is aims to improve quality by increasing teacher abilities to work with more than one grade simultaneously through training and instructional materials. MPPE is one of the department strategies to provide to access quality education for all schools age children in remote communities where enrollment does not warrant the organization of multi-grade classes. DepEd continues to hold multi-grade classes in an effort to ensure that Filipino students in remote areas complete their basic education. And also, multi-grade program has been proven as an effective learning delivery. The program works in 5 areas: curriculum and material development, staff development, physical development, community support and research, monitoring, and evaluation.
So, in a graded approach to reading, this is a real example of teachers and educators collaborating to identify differences in the education and to improve of students in average grades. Teachers' job and students' learning are being transformed by the knowledge that additional reading materials can be developed at low or no cost and that supplementary storybooks can be borrowed. This graded approach to reading is an important reading component for learners of additional language because it allows for them to read a variety of genres, read large amount of simple text within their current reading ability, and for them to choose their own materials. It allows students to understand how language is constructed. They can recognize real examples of how sentences are combined to form paragraphs and how paragraphs are arranged to form text. By reading longer text, students will have the opportunity to see language as a way to communicate ideas and opinions. Learning and teaching in multigrade settings, this achieved in both countries. The development of teacher education materials alongside the curriculum development exercise has had an advantage to bringing the most recent and innovative curriculum developments to attention of all teachers, and not only those who participated directly in the curriculum adaptation workshops, trials, and follow-up exercises. In multigrade teaching, it helps to reinforce the best quality learning for your students. As a multigrade teacher, you should try first to understand the diversity and complexity of your students by gender, age, family, and socioeconomic background, language, ability, and special education needs. And see this diversity not as a problem to be solved but as an opportunity to produce better learning.